Okay, so serial A can be configured as RS-232, RS-485, or RS-422, but serial B is RS-232 only. So the main point of these serial gateways is to encapsulate Modbus or DNP3 serial traffic and make it available over IP, whether that's over Wi-Fi, over LTE, or LAN interfaces. So the gateway will convert one of these protocols. So in this case, we'll do DNP3 on serial A over RS-232. So in these sections, you'll need to specify the serial port configuration for the device that you are connecting to. So if it's legacy equipment like a recloser or a CapBank controller, that device should have a description of its serial port, of what baud rate it's running at, the parity of the serial, the data bits, stop bits, and here is where you'll need to configure the IP side of the gateway. So this configures the serial port. This configures the IP side after the serial data has been translated into IP. So the master IP is set to the IP address of the backend master, which is a security feature that will only allow the master at your specified IP address to connect to the unit. So in this case, we could go 10.10.365. Local IP is the local interface that it will bind to for UDP traffic. And in the case that we're showing here, it is TCP only. So we'll enable the TCP listener on port 20,000, which is the default port for DNP3 over IP. And then you can configure timeout, delay, and attempts, which is, again, on the serial side. Because we're running at a higher baud rate, we should only need a 10 millisecond delay and 100 millisecond timeout. At lower baud rates, you'll generally need longer timeouts and longer delays between messages. And if there's issues with the DNP3 or Modbus gateway, debug output can be enabled. If there's still issues to be debugged, verbose output will enable even a higher level of debug. And if the serial gateway will be listening on the WAN interface, that port on the firewall will need to be opened up to allow traffic from the master to access the device. So we can do that under firewall. Then traffic rules, and we'll create a new rule to allow DNP3, which is TCP only. The destination zone will be to this device, and the destination port is port 20,000, and in this case we'll accept. So this says any incoming IPv6 or IPv4 TCP traffic to this device on port 20,000 will be accepted, which is what we want, so that we can get those requests on the WAN interface at port 20,000 on TCP. Save and apply.